Hello and welcome back to setup phase and to Spirit Island base game. Today I will be playing another low complexity spirit, River Surges in Sunlight. I've set up almost everything. The board that we'll be playing is board D. It is already populated with the printed pieces. Fear deck has been created. I will also be using a blight card this time, and it tells us to add 2 blight per player plus the usual 1 blight. This means that we have 3 blight until the card flips over. The Explorer deck has been made by taking out 1 card from each stage, and now we need to set up River Surges in Sunlight. On most of Spirit Island, the rivers run high during the rainy season, as one would expect. There is one exception. The lingering remains of an ancient curse keep a high ridge shrouded in ice. When the sun beats down, it feeds a single river with abundant meltwater. River Surges in Sunlight is a spirit of rushing water, inundation and bounty out of season. It gets along well with the Dahan who farm along its banks. They reap the benefit of a good harvest and tend to the health of the river in its drier times. Both gain. As a setup, we only place 1 presence on the starting board in the highest number wetlands, which will be number 3. Let's now place the remaining presents on the presents track, leaving the first slot open. And return any unused presents back to the box. For the growth options for River Surges in Sunlight, the first one is reclaim cards, gain a power card and gain an energy. The second growth options allows us to add a presence at range 1 and then add a presence at range 1. And the third one allows us to gain a power card and add a presence at range 2. On the presence tracks, we have a reclaim 1 card in the card's place. This means that if we uncover this slot, we can reclaim 1 of the played cards every turn. Its special rules are that our presence in the wetlands also count as a sacred site. This means that here in location 3, we already have a sacred site, even though we only have 1 presence. The innate power is called Massive Flooding. It requires a sacred site to be used and allows us to push 1 explorer or 1 town if we have 1 sun and 2 water. For 2 sun and 3 water, instead we do 2 damage and push up to 3 explorers or towns. For 3 suns, 4 waters and 1 mountain, instead we do 2 damage to each invader. Let's take a look at the unique power cards. We have Flash Floods, a fast power card that costs 2 energy to play. It does 1 damage, and if the target land is coastal, we do +1 damage. On this map, the coastal lands are 3, 2, and 1. We have River's Bounty, a slow power card with cost 0. It allows us to gather up to 2 Dahan. If there are now at least 2 Dahan in the target land, we may add 1 Dahan and gain an energy. We have Wash Away, a slow power card for 1 energy, which allows us to push 3 explorers or cities, and Bond of Vigor, which is a fast power card that costs nothing, and if we target ourselves, we gain 1 energy. We only need to see where they explore in the first round, which is the sands. So they explore here and also here. For the first growth phase, let's choose the second one to add 2 presents. Let's start with 1 presence on each track. We can add 1 presence 1 away, and then another presence 1 away. Let's add it here. They will not ravage, but they will build in the sands. We now gain energy based on the energy track, which is 2. And we can play up to 2 cards. And let's play Bond of Vigor and Wash Away. Wash Away costs 1 energy, and with this done, we go into the fast power phase. We only have Bond of Vigor, which says that if we target ourselves, we gain 1 energy. We go into the Invader phase. We have no fear cards. The Blighted Island has not turned. We don't have any Ravage, but we do have a build in the in the sands. 1 city here and a town here. And we explore in the mountains. 1 here and 1 here, because both of them are adjacent to a land with a city or a town. In the slow power phase, we can use Wash Away. This allows us to push up to 3 explorers or cities from a land. Let's target this land. The range is 1 away. This range is 0. And we can push this explorer, let's say here. Our innate power, because we have 1 sun and 2 water, allows us to push 1 explorer or 1 city. Remember that our presence in wetlands count as a sacred site. This means that this or this are valid location. And we will choose this one, and we can push this city, let's say here. With this, we have completed the turn. We can move the Invader cards. We discard the play cards, and we continue on to the next turn with the growth phase. For the growth phase, let's do the 3rd one, which allows us to gain a power card and add a presence 2 away from a presence that we already have. Let's start with a power card. I will go for a minor power card. And we're mostly looking for water and sun, which only 1 has. And let's take Nature's Resilience. This is a defense 6, but we need a sacred site to use it at a range 1. And if we have 2 water, we may instead remove 1 blight from the land. And we also need to add a presence at range 2. Considering the card that we just got, let's add a presence from the energy track and place it here to create a sacred site. We gain energy based on the energy track, which is again 2. And we can play 2 cards. I say let's play our 2 fast cards. 1 costs 1 energy, and the second one costs 2 energy. We have played the cards, paid for them. We go into the fast power phase. Flash Floods allows us to target a land at range 1. We target this land, and we can do 1 damage, and if the target land is coastal, we do another damage, which is enough to destroy this city and generate us 1 fear. The second card, Nature's Resilience, allows us to target a land 1 away from a sacred site. We will target land number 7 and defend it with 6 defend. With this, we move into the Invader phase. No Blighted Island, no fear. They will ravage. They ravage in land number 4 in the sands. They do 1 damage, not enough to add a blight. They also ravage in land 7. They do 3, 5, 6 damage, and we defend for exactly 6. They don't do any damage to the land or to the Dahan, but the Dahan now attack back. each with a strength of 2, which means that we have 4 damage back. Let's remove this town and this explorer. For the town, we gain 2 fear, and the explorer gives us nothing, but it's no longer on the board. Next, they build in the mountains. They have nothing in land 5, but in land 8, they build a city. And we explore in the wetlands. Both ones will receive 1 explorer because they are coastal. Into the slow power phase, we only have 1 sun and 1 water, which means we cannot activate our ability. With this, we go into time passes. We discard the play cards. I forgot to move the invader cards. Nothing to heal, but we remove this reminder token. And we go on to the next turn. For the growth phase, let's go with the first one. We gain 1 energy. We reclaim all the cards and we choose another power card. Let's go for a minor one as well. I think I will take Elemental Boon. This says that the target spirit gains 3 different elements of their choice, which will allow us to more easily do our innate powers. We gain energy, still on 2 energy, and we play our 2 cards. I think we should play Flash Floods and Elemental Boon. We pay 1 for Elemental Boon and 2 for Flash Floods. We go into the fast power phase. Flash Floods, as before, 1 damage, and if we target a coastal land, we gain another damage. We need to target at range 1. Let's target this land, and we do 2 damage, removing the explorers. For the Elemental Boon, I will choose to gain 1 sun and 2 water. This way we have enough to do the second innate power, but this will only happen in the slow phase. We go to the invader phase. No blighted island, no fear cards, ravage. They will ravage in the mountains, nothing in land 5, but in land 8 they do 3 damage, which adds 1 blight. They build in the wetlands. They build a city here and nothing on the other wetlands. And they explore in the wetlands again. 1 explorer here and 1 here because both of them are coastal. We move the invader cards. And we go into the slow power phase. The only one that we have is our innate power, which allows us to do 2 damage and push up to 3 explorer or cities. We do 2 damage here, removing this city. We gain 1 fear, which gains us a fear card. And we can push up to 3 explorers. Let's push these 2 explorers and push them here. Time passes, nothing to heal. We discard the cards and move on to the next turn. Let's go with adding presence. Let's add 1 presence from the energy track, and we can add it 1 away. Let's add it here so we have more range, and a presence from the card play track, and let's add it here again. No, let's add it here. This way we will have a sacred site in land number 1 because of our special ability. We gain energy, this time it's 3. And we can play 2 cards. They will be ravaging in the wetlands, and they will also build in the wetlands, but we only have 1 land that we need to take care of, which means that we don't need to play defend. Let's play River's Bounty and Bond of Vigor. They are both free cards. In the fast power phase, Boon's Vigor allows us to gain 1 energy. Next we go to the Invaders. We don't have a Blight card yet, but we do have a Fear card. Invaders do not build in lands with towns, because we're still at Terra level 1, but they won't build anyways in lands with towns. Next, they Ravage. They attack in land number 1. This Explorer attacks with a strength of 1, dealing 1 damage to the Dahan, and now the Dahan attack back. They're going to build in the wetlands, but there's nothing in the wetlands for them to build. And they explore in the jungles. They explore here because it's coastal, and in land number 6 because it's adjacent to a city. In the slow power phase, we have River's Bounty, which allows us to gather up to 2 Dahan. Let's choose this land. We gather 2 Dahan. If there are now at least 2 Dahan, we add another one. And we also gain 1 energy. For our innate power, because we have 2 suns and 2 water, we get to push 1 explorer or a city from a land 1 away. From a sacred site. This is the sacred site, a land 1 away. Let's push this one into the sands as well. Time passes, this Dahan heals, and we discard the blade cards. And we move the explorer cards along. And we go into the next turn, starting with the growth phase. In the growth phase, I will choose the last one to gain another power card. Let's go for a miner. And let's take Song of Sanctity. This has the elements that we are looking for. And we get to put a presence 2 away from another presence that we already have. We take it from the play cards track. And let's add a presence in this jungle. We get 3 energy. And we can play 3 cards now. And these are our only cards that we still have. Each one costs 1 energy to play. We go into the fast power phase. And we have Nature's Resilience. This allows us to target 1 land 1 away from a sacred site. We will target this land. It allows us to defend 6, but if we have 2 waters, which we do, we may instead remove 1 blight. We can remove this blight, which is added back to the blight card. That's it for the fast power phase. Next to the Invaders, no blighted island, no fear. They will ravage in the wetlands, but there's nothing there. They will build in the jungles, and they build a city in land 2, nothing in land 6, and they explore on all coastal lands. We move the Invader cards along, and we go into the slow power phase. Let's play first the Song of Sanctity. We need to target a land which is 1 away, and it needs to be a mountain or a jungle. We will target this land, land number 2. It says that if the target land has explorers, push all explorers. So let's push all the explorers away. Otherwise, we could remove a blight, but there's no blight there. Next, we can play Wash Away. It again needs to target a land 1 away. We target land number 1 and allows us to push up to 3 explorers or cities. And let's push this one into the middle as well. We also have our innate power only on the first level. 1 range away from a secret site, we will target this land again. And we can push 1 explorer or a city, and let's push this explorer. With this, we have completed the slow power phase. Nothing to heal. We discard the cards and move to the next turn. And we start again with the growth phase. We have no more cards, which means we need to choose the first growth option. We reclaim all the cards. We get 1 energy, and we can choose a power card. Let's choose a major power card. Well, tsunami seems like a pretty fit for this spirit. In order to take a major power card, we need to forget, which means lose 1 card. And I think I will forget Boon of Vigor. Tsunami allows us to target only coastal lands, and they must be 2 away from a sacred site. It does 8 damage, 2 fear, but also destroys to the Han. And if we have 3 water and 2 mountains, in each other coastal land on the same board, we get 1 fear, 4 damage, and destroy the Han. We collect energy, 3 again, and we can now play 3 cards. Let's play these 3 cards. We have Tsunami, Wash Away, and Song of Sanctity. 1 energy, 1 energy, and 6 energy for the major power card. They are all slow power. We go into the fast power phase, but we have none. Blighted Island, no. Fear, no. Ravage. They will ravage in the jungles. They do here 5 damage, which destroys a presence and adds a blight. There's nothing in land 6. They will build in the coastal lands. And in this land, they will build a city. And they will explore in the mountains, which means here because it's adjacent to a land with a city or a town, and here because it already has a city. Next come the slow power phase. We also have our level 1 ability. Let's start with Song of Sanctity. It allows us to target a land 1 away, and it needs to be a mountain or a jungle. I will target this land. And we get to push all explorers. I will push 1 here. And 5 here. We also need to advance the invader cards. Next, we can do Wash Away. Target a land at range 1. It will be this land. And we get to push up to 3 explorers or cities. We only have 3. Let's push them all into land number 7. And for our last power card, let's use Tsunami. It requires us to target a coastal land up to 2 away from a sacred site. We will target land number 2. It does 8 damage. 3, 5, 7, 8 damage. We get 2 fear from the town and 1 from each city for a total of 4, and get a fear card. Since we have 3 waters and 2 mountains, we can do the second effect. In each other coastal land on the same board, we get 1 fear for each land, so 2 fear. I also forgot to take the 2 fear from the top side of the card, which gives us another 2 fear. And we also move into terror level 2. Let's continue with this power card. We do 4 damage and destroy the Han. We do 4 damage here, and there's not a Han to destroy, but we can do 4 damage in land number 1, destroying 4 explorers, and unfortunately 1 down. We also have our innate power, which allows us to push 1 explorer or city. I don't think that's necessary for the moment, so let's just skip it. Time passes, there's nothing to heal. We discard the cards and move on to the next turn. For the next turn, let's choose the second growth option and let's take 2 presents from the card play track. We can add them 1 away from a present that we already have. Let's re-add the presents that we'd lost, and let's add 1 here in order to create a sacred site. We gain 3 energy, and from the play cards track we can reclaim 1 card. And let's reclaim Wash Away. We can now play 4 cards, and let's play these 4 cards and pay for them. 1 for Wash Away, Reverse Bounty is free, 2 energy for Flash Floods, and 1 for Elemental Boon. We go into the fast power phase. With Flash Floods we can do 1 damage in land 1 away. Let's choose this land, and if the land is coastal it's not, but we can still do a damage. For the Elemental Boon, let's see what we are missing in order to activate the last power. We have 2 suns, so the first one will be a sun. We have 3 water, and we need another water, and we already have the mountain. So 1 sun, 1 water, and whatever else, it doesn't matter. Next we go into the Invader phase. No Blighted Island, but we do have 2 fear cards that we need to resolve at Terror level 2. We resolve them in the order that we have drawn them. The first one is each player removes 2 explorers or a city from a land with the Hun. Let's remove these 2 explorers. And for the next one, defend 6 in all coastal lands. Invaders do not build towns in coastal lands this turn. This means that land number 1 has defend 6 this turn. Next are the Invaders. They ravage in the coastal lands, the only one is here, and we have a defense 6 from the fear card. After they attack, the Hun attack back, destroying this invader. Next, they build in the mountains. There's nothing in both mountain lands, and they explore in the sands and mountains. Let's start with the sands. They don't explore here because it's not coastal or adjacent to a city or town, but they explore here because they have a city or a town, and they explore here and here for the same reason. They are adjacent to a city. We advance the invader cards and we move into the slow power phase. We only need to activate our massive flooding. It needs to be 1 away from a sacred site. We choose this one. We have already decided that we have the most powerful version of the innate power. This says that instead we do 2 damage to each invaders. The explorers only have 1 damage. And the cities have 2 health, which means they are destroyed. We generate 2 fear, but we have already met the victory condition. We have destroyed all cities and towns from the board. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough with River Surges in Sunlight. Have a nice day and see you in the next one. Bye.